Hi, fourth graders. We're going to begin our pumpkin project. This pumpkin project is going to help us learn about value and creating three-dimensional objects. It's also going to help us learn about still life and colorful still life.
During this project, you will need to look at the poster I have posted at the front of the room. It shows you all of the steps and will be used as a great reminder.
To begin our pumpkin project, you're going to get a large piece of paper. Of course, on the back in the top corner, write your name, nice and neat. Please do this with a pencil. If you were to write it with chalk pastel, it would smear. And then also write your class code, which is 4, and then the letter of your teacher's name. On the front, we're going to begin our pumpkin still life. Okay? If you look at the poster, step number 1 says, draw a pumpkin without pencil. Use orange pastel. I have already organized the pastels into different bins for you. This bin says orange and it has all the orange ones. Yellow, blue, green, brown and black, and then light or pale orange. These 3 are going to create our value, and this one's going to add some shadows. These 2 will be used for our background, our grass, and our sky. So step number 1 says to use orange pastel. So you're going to grab an orange pastel from this box called orange pastels. To draw a pumpkin without pencil, we need to start with an oval shape as it says on the poster. So first, draw a big oval shape. Then if I continue looking at the poster, I see that it says to add some curved lines on the outside. Curved, curved. Notice that my curved lines at the top stay together. My curved lines at the bottom do not touch the bottom. I'm going to add some on each side so that my pumpkin gets bigger. And then maybe in the back, so that I have a back side, I can add one round curved line on the back. There's one pumpkin. Okay? Then I'm going to make this pumpkin look 3D. Step number 2 says add 3D color. Orange, add light, add yellow, add a dark smile, and blend up. So here's what it means. I'm going to take my pastel, turning it on its side will help, and I'm going to fill in the middle of each oval with orange. Then I need to get my other colors. I'm going to grab one light or pale orange, one yellow, and one dark. It doesn't matter if you use black or brown. Then it says to add light. So at the top, I'm going to add my light, but I'm also going to make my light orange go on top of my regular orange. This will begin the blending process. So first I did orange, then I did light orange. Then it says add yellow. So up here in this remaining area, I'm going to color it in with yellow, going on top of my light orange a little. And then it says add a dark smile. So I'm going to add a dark smile at the bottom and color in all that remaining space. Now it says to blend up. So I'm going to take my finger and blend up. Gently, with tiny little strokes, blend the dark into the orange, fill in the orange, blend the orange into the light orange, then fill the light orange into the yellow. Now if you'll notice, I've got all this powder on my table. It is not healthy to blow the powder across the room because if we breathe it into our lungs, it can make us very sick. So instead, when you have powder, I'd like you to just take your paper and dunk the powder on the table, and then we can wipe it up after class. Step number 2 then says, repeat number 2 until all your spots are colored. So I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to begin with orange, fill in one of my ovals at a time, the middle with orange, put light orange on top, yellow on the complete top, and then a dark smile. This smile is more of a V shape, but I need to make sure I've got the tops of the smile so the shadow shows up right. Now I blend. Start with the dark, move up to orange, fill in the orange, blend with the light, and blend with the yellow, and dunk. I'm going to do the rest sped up for you. When you get to the back part, you just do it smaller. So I'm going to fill in the middle with orange, put some light orange at the top of that, closer to the middle part, fill the rest in with yellow, and do the back part with brown and blend. Now step number 3 says to add shadows and highlight that you don't blend. This just helps to make it look less like an orange blob with some brown and yellow, but more like purposeful shadows. So, looking at the green, it says add shadows using dark. So I'm going to take my dark or chalk pastel and add the dark lines. That is simply tracing around my original orange lines, and I'm not going to blend these. This is just around the bottom of the pumpkin to make it show up more intensely. And then the pink says add highlights using yellow, and that is at the top. So I'm going to outline some of my ovals that I did or my curved lines with yellow to make them stand out even more. Now it's time to add my stem. My stem is just kind of a rectangle shape with a circle on the end. So you're going to draw it like that. Somewhere in the middle where all your yellow is. Some sort of curvy rectangle shape with a circle at the end. You can make it branch out and grab onto your pumpkin by adding some zigzag lines underneath. It then says add color using dark and then add details and an outline using black. So I'm going to color in my stem using my dark color, brown or black. Yes, this covers up some of the yellows and oranges I already had in there. But then I'm going to take my yellow, my light color, or my light orange, whichever you want, and outline my stem again to make some of these parts show up better. I can even add some funky lines in the middle to make it look like the stem has some texture. I'm going to repeat this pumpkin process for at least 2, but several pumpkins. So here I go. I will fast forward this so you can see my finished project. Now it's time to do my sky and my ground. So I need to find two blues for my sky, a light one and a dark one. And I also need to find two greens for my ground, a light green and a dark green. They're both the same idea, but done on the top and the bottom. The green's going to be on the bottom, and my blue's going to be on the top. So what you do is you take the darker of the two colors, dark green or dark blue, and you're going to trace around. But first we need to design an area where the sky and the ground separate. This is called horizon line because it's horizontal. Okay, so here's my horizon line. It also would kind of go in between here, but then I'd cover up my pumpkins. So I'm going to simply take my dark blue and trace around my pumpkin, all of them. It's like I'm outlining my pumpkins with this dark blue. Okay. And then I'm going to I would do that the same with the green as well. But I'm not ready to move on the green. So with the blue, I'm also going to take the dark blue and kind of color around the dark blue to fan out this edge. It doesn't have to be the same height. Like it doesn't all the dark blue doesn't have to go up to this line, but fan it out a good little bit so that you have something to blend. Some of the dark blue might reach the top of the paper. Depending on where your pumpkins are, they might not go very far. Careful not to color on your pumpkins. You don't want to ruin all that hard work. And remember, you don't have to fill in all the white spots with crayon because or with the chalk pastel because we're going to fill all that in by blending here in a little bit. Done making my dark blue get a little tall. Now I'm going to take my light blue and fill the rest of it in, going all the way to the edges of the paper, coming right up next to where my dark blue stopped. I can leave a few little white spaces because I'll fill that in with blending. And now, here's the blending. So with a clean finger, I'm going to start with the dark and push it around so that all of those white spaces cover it up. Not going to move to the light color yet because I don't want my finger to get the light blue on it until I'm ready. Just blending the dark to cover up all the black. Now I'm going to take my finger and start going upwards, up and down to kind of get them together. And this is going to magically combine the two colors and fade away that harsh line that you had. Up and down to get them to combine. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Take my dark green, trace around my horizon line and the pumpkins. Then I'm going to fan it out and add my light green. I'll fast forward this for you too. And now my pumpkin still life is done. My hands are dirty, and this only took us a few class periods. They will be hung in the wall, so I hope you did your very best.